Put my rings on. My hands look naked.
Yeah, look for the article. You can also actually find the article on our. I think it's on our homepage too, I believe. But just go to the Daily Mail and then go to She Mail, Mail. It's in the She Mail section, which is it her mail? I think it's She Mail. I don't even know.
What?
I think it's. Yeah, that transfer. Hold for me. Those try this brush.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that feels good on your scalp.
Come in.
Oh,
Hold on.
she's like, no, just dim the light. I'm in a good place right now.
Oh, yeah. So, it feels kind of like
I know it was kind of a dad joke, right?
Oh.
I need to toughen those up a little bit.
All right. You gotta keep this in our bathroom, babe.
What?
Or we'll order another.
Just get, I want one.
That's
Look,
great.
It didn't even pull out my hair. Look, there's only one hair.
Do you guys go out in public as a girl? Yes, we do. And if you go watch a lot of the videos, a couple weekends ago, we were in Vegas. We went to the, which club? Omnia? The Omni nightclub or Omnia, something like that. That shows you how young and hip and groovy I am. But yes, we do go out dressed. We don't do it as much in this community because, how do I say this? We're still very active in this community, and my children and their friends' parents and everything else. And so, I'm not here to disrupt, their life any more than I absolutely have to. So mostly we leave this community to go out dressed, but yes, we go out dressed quite often.
Do you know who Brittany Shipman is? Is that familiar? She said that she's here and she changed her name and the picture this week.
Really?
Oh.
Congratulations, Brittany. Yay. Congratulations.
Jennifer, can you list the items they used, please?
How many kids do we have? We have 3 kids, and Addie right here is our youngest. So our oldest is 22. This is Addie, and we also have a son in the middle who's 19. So yes, we've been married for, thank you, Christina. We've been married for almost 26 years. Now let's talk about this for 1 second. There's been a few people that said, hey, look, is there any kind of a meet and greet scheduled or planned? And there really isn't, but here's what we were thinking. And tell me if this is something that you would be interested in. We're considering on June 1st, that's our wedding, that will be our 26th wedding anniversary. So what we're considering is going to Vegas and maybe, even though we're already married, not really doing a, official ceremony, but having some kind of a little ceremony-ish type of thing, as a couple of girls in girl dresses and whatever. And we're considering just making that a meet and greet. And if anyone wanted to come and participate in that moment, then we could arrange that. What's also nice is that is June 1st is the first day of the LGBT, Pride Month. So it's pretty just lined up kind of coincidentally for that. But if you would be interested in going to Vegas and doing a little meet and greet and being part of that little, girl wedding ceremony, then reach out and let us know that. Will I be getting dolled up? Yes, I'm going to be getting dolled up in just a second. I want to give just a couple of messages really quick as Kevin.
Oh, no, so my head's not in the way.
And then I'll get dolled up, and then I want to give those same messages as Alyssa and just see if it's received any differently. These are messages that really stir the community. We're talking about girls and trans girls in sports. We're talking about bathrooms. We're talking about, religion, that kind of stuff. And we get so much hate and whatnot on those things that it's important that we take care of those and at least address those on the live. My purpose of being here is just to spread awareness. My purpose of being here is to show you what a transgender life looks like, because I understand the tough part of accepting the transgender person is not knowing what you're going to give up in order to accept that person. So if I can eliminate that suspicion, if I can eliminate that doubt and that fear for you, then that's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier. That's what I believe. So that's my purpose here. What's my agenda? My agenda is to wake up, to dress myself in the morning, and to go live my best life. That's my agenda. I don't feel like I need any permission to do that. I don't feel like I need extra laws to do that. I don't think I need special rights or protections to do that. I think I already have those rights What I need is for people to think a little bit differently, just so that they're more respectful about that. So let's talk about some of these things really quick. I'm gonna switch the slideshow presentation. By the way, moderators, before we start, guys, you have to understand that at the end of this show, TikTok is going to put up a little deal on my screen, and it's going to tell me how many people joined in here. Each live, we do it twice a week, somewhere between 35,000 to 65,000 people will join this live for whatever amount of time. There's so many young trans kids on here. There's so many parents of trans. There's so many teachers and doctors and counselors who are here to learn and who are here to really also not only to learn, but to see how the world is going to respond to them. Your comments mean something. I get that you're taking a jab at me. You're not. You're taking a jab at a lot of really young people who need more support than criticism right now. So please be respectful. At the same time, moderators, I want to be a little bit patient tonight. I don't want to kick out every person that disagrees with me. It's okay to disagree with me. It's okay if everybody disagrees with me. Just have the respect to listen. That's all. So if you get belligerent, if you get threatening, if you get disgusting, something that you would not want your own 12-year-old trans child to watch, then we're going to block you. And if you can't settle down, we're going to kick you out. Not because we don't like you, but because you have no respect for people. So moderators, I do want to let people stay here that just need more information, because that's the purpose of me being here, is to give that information. All right, I'm going to answer a couple quick questions. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So great. So the slideshow behind me just kind of shows some general information, but I want to change this slideshow, and I've got more computers. This station right here is like driving the space shuttle. I got projectors and multiple computers and lamps, and it's ridiculous, and I don't know how to work any of it. I don't even know how this is happening right now. So I'm going to stop. So, babe, you can call out some questions while I set this up, if it's okay.
All right. Oh, I'm just getting caught up. Thank you for sharing your story.
All right. Are you also attracted to men? I am not attracted to men. I lived with a father who was tricking us all my whole life. Thank you for being honest. He wasn't tricking you. I know it felt like tricking you, and I know that because I've received that feedback. It's not tricking you. It's protecting you. And whether or not you see it that way, it doesn't make it, right or wrong. But the bottom line is, there's nothing that your father wanted more than to tell you who they were, so that you could have an honest relationship with them. So they could, gosh, this is crazy to adjust. I'm sorry that I'm making you all car sick. I'm making myself car sick. He wasn't tricking you. Give him, her, I don't know how they identify. But what they need from you is to know that you're still there, that you love them, that their sacrifice. I mean, you obviously got this far. They probably put you through school, and they gave up almost everything to trick you for that long. They gave up their best skin. They gave up their best years. They gave up all the opportunities they had to dress and to feel whole and complete when they felt like falling apart and giving up. But instead they showed up to your piano recital and to your dance and your school. And they took the time that they could have set aside for them just to feel whole and to feel healthy, and they gave that to your family somewhere. He didn't trick you. I promise you. He protected you, and he did the best that he could. And you may not get that right now, but I think at some point you're really going to get that. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about, should trans girls compete in athletics? It's really, really important that we get this right. Very important that we get this right. Number one, transgender refers to just the social gender that somebody chooses for themselves. It's about the social gender that somebody chooses to identify with in this social world. That's what transgender is. It's about the masculine or the feminine energy that drives and motivates and describes the internals of that individual. It's the most obvious indicator of what's important to that person and how they wish to be treated socially. That's really what that means. It means this is how I want to be treated socially. That's what transgender is. Now, let's talk about this. Transgender is not about genetics. It's not about XY. It's not about XX. It's not about all of those other combinations that you see up there. It's not about that. Again, it's about a social gender that you feel like those are the routines that I want to adopt for my life. This is the social role that I want to play, and that's where I feel the most healthy and the most capable and willing to be a great part of society. Transgender is not about sexual orientation. This is one of the biggest misunderstood things in this whole transgender deal. Transgender, gender identity is about who you go to sleep as. Sexual orientation is who you go to sleep with. It's completely different. So it has nothing to do with your sexual attraction. So important that you understand that. Transgender is not a function of physical abilities, like giving birth, have menstruation. That's not what trans is about. You don't have to be able to have a child to feel like this feminine role is a good role for me. It makes me feel whole and happy and healthy. So you don't have to have a menstrual cycle. In fact, there's a lot of amazing women who can't have babies, who don't have menstrual cycles. That is not the definition of a woman. That's not the definition of a trans woman. So that has nothing to do with those things. However, athletics is about physical activity. It is not, it's about your physical abilities, not your gender or identity, your physical abilities. So where do your physical abilities come from? Well, mostly they're genetic. They came at puberty. As your body went through that puberty, then all of a sudden your muscles, developed, your bones grew or shrink. Well, not they didn't shrink, but they developed in a way that your puberty told them to develop. That's the bottom line. So that has everything to do with your athletic ability. So physical ability is again, it's all about that puberty. So do I think that transgender girls should play with cisgender girls? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That would not be a fair playing field. Why would we allow people who are at different levels of physical ability to compete athletically? That doesn't make sense. Now, here's the exception. The exception is, so basically here is my stance on that. Transgender women should only compete with cisgender women if they all experience the same puberty. So if you experienced a male puberty, then no, competing with cisgender girls is out. It's just not fair. It's not about identity. It's about ability. And this is a huge thing we have to get right. We have to get this right for exactly what I said at the beginning of this, that people are uncomfortable signing off on transgender because they don't know what they have to give up in order to accept it. And they're like, well, I don't know. I don't understand transgender. I don't know what it's about. I don't know how you feel, but I need to understand what I'm going to give up if I'm going to accept this. And if what they have to give up is their daughter's confidence for your child's confidence so they can go play with their friends, they're not going to make that deal. You know why? Because it's a bad deal to make. That's a bad trade, to trade their child's confidence for your child's confidence. So it's not the right place to ask for anything. And we have to get this right, because if we lose this, and I understand I'm making so many trans people angry, but you got to understand, if we win this battle, we'll lose the war. We will lose the war. There won't be a person that ever feels safe trying to support us or help us, because again, they don't know what they're going to have to give up. They've already sacrificed the confidence of their child, so if we win this battle of competing with cisgender girls, we will lose the war. Make no mistake about that. We don't need rights. We don't need any of that stuff. We need to wake up in the morning. We need to say, I'm going to dress myself. We need to dress to our strengths, and we got to go out there and win that day like everybody else. That's what we need to do.
Someone said, wait, are you saying that if a trans woman doesn't do HRT, they're not allowed to compete in women's sports?
Okay, let me clarify that. What I'm saying is this is probably the most clearest way I can say this. You should get to compete with only the people that experience the same puberty as you. That will be the only way that it's a level playing field on an athletic or physical level, which is what athletics is. It's about physical ability. It's not about identity. It's about physical ability. And puberty has a lot to do with your physical abilities. I don't know if that cleared that up for you. All right. So why is this important? It's important because of this. Let me go through here really quick. So this right here, this is the South Dakota lawmakers have sent an anti-transgender sports bill to the governor and have advanced a bill to limit trans students' access to restrooms and changing rooms. So they're lumping together restrooms now and sports. Do you see the problem already? Not everybody needs to play sports. But every trans person needs to use the bathroom, for crying out loud. So you're telling me because we don't understand it, because it's so confusing and put together, they're lumping in completely different issues, and which means that it's going to be wrong 100% of the time because those issues have different answers. So this is the problem right here. So now we've got trans people that are going to have to fight to use the bathroom instead of, just not going and competing with people that are not built like them. This doesn't make sense. Trans people, brothers and sisters, listen to me. If we win this battle right here, the sports battle, we will lose the war. We won't have a person on the planet that doesn't think that they're going to give up more than they're going to give for us. So, we don't need special rights. Every single time something like this gets put on the books to vote on, we're not gaining anything. There's nothing there for you and I to gain. Every time something's voted on, there's only something on the table to take away from us. That's it. We already have the rights that we need. What we need to spend our time on is health insurance, making sure that the health insurance companies, they treat all of our people. What we need to work on is making sure that everyone has the right legal identity and the ability to identify legally for, documentation and jobs and that kind of stuff. That stuff needs to be a fight. That's worth fighting for. But we can already wake up in the morning, dress to our strengths, go to work and win the day. We don't need rights to give us some kind of advantage of getting a job. We don't need an unfair advantage to get a job. You just need the credentials to do it. You don't need some kind of a protection to get a promotion. You just need the discipline for that. So you've already got an unfair advantage at work anyway, because everyone always knows the trans person. You're already known. Everyone else is going to have to be there for 2 years to be known. You're known right out of the gates. Now all you have to do is shine. Now all you have to do is show up every day on time, ready to work and do your best work and leave everyone around you better than they found you, and it's going to be amazing. So you've got to keep in mind those fences, those protections that you're voting for, that you want to happen, those fences are not to keep the wolves out, they're to keep the sheep in. Make no mistake about that. And if they can grant us special access, that means they can also limit our access. Think 2 steps down the line. We do not want to be plucked out of the general population. It won't be good for us. We don't need anything extra. There's already protections in place for people that mistreat us. You don't get to walk up to me and punch me in the face in public. There's laws, there's a penalty and punishment for that. So I don't need extra protection, and I don't even need more protection than my wife or my daughters or anything else. So, we've got to concentrate on the things that are going to give us and your children, your daughter or your son, that we just talked to a minute ago. We got to give them every opportunity to succeed, and they're not going to succeed if they're running around going, where can I use the bathroom safe? Where can I do that? We've got to let them at least have the basic rights and the comforts.
Sorry, they can't see it.
I know, I need to, maybe if we move that thing back, maybe if we move it back, that would be good. Yeah, maybe that'll be right. I don't know. Say, guys, I'm sorry about that. I didn't get that right apparently. But the bottom line is, we got to set, not me. I'm not here trying to set me up for success. I'm already okay. I've already been out there living this way. I'm already using the bathroom when I need to use the bathroom. I'm already living the way that I want to live. So it's not about, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for your people, because they're going to want to just live their life like everybody else. And no one's going to let them, if they think they've got to give up a lot of stuff, to let them do that. We don't need different laws. We need different thinking. That's what we need. Autism, thank you. I know it's not centered. What's your real question? I'm not trying to attack you. I don't know if that's even to me. I didn't even hear it.
Hold on.
There you go, babe. Oh, work that camera. Work that camera. I can see this going differently later. Yeah, maybe we push it all the way back. How about this? Oh, you got it? All right. Here, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. This is really a mess. Hang on. Hang on. It's a total mess. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. I don't really know. Oh, you're touching it. You're touching it. Okay, I think that's it. All right. Let's see. No, the chat are very, very disrespectful. Oh. Yeah, don't be disrespectful. Thank you so much. Back the blue, right? Back the blue. How do you feel about athletics pre-puberty? Pre-puberty is okay. Nobody's body has been developing really yet. Pre-puberty, there's such little athletics at pre-puberty. There's so little, and it's definitely not very competitive at that level. So, you know, I have less of a problem with prepubescent individuals than post-pubescent. That's the reality. And you know, you guys can work all of that out. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that it's a level playing field for everybody, including my kids and my grandkids and your trans kids, because your trans kids, they're going to be on the right hormones at the right time, and they're going to be able to compete out on the field with their peers because they're going to have bodies that are similar, and they're not going to be ashamed, and they're not going to be embarrassed, and they're not going to have an advantage. They're going to have an opportunity, and that is what this is all about: is giving our people an opportunity. All right.
Hi, Mama Banana 91.
Mama Banana 91, about your opinions about that. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking the question. How did you tell your wife? Was it hard? No, it wasn't hard at all, because there was no words. It wasn't like, hey, look, I'm trans and this is what I want. It was, hey, look, marry me. And by the way, I love like girl things. Girl things are important to me. I really get girl things, and they're important to me. And and she said okay, and that was it. So it wasn't a lifestyle back then. It was just a preference.
Hey,
Hmm. Amy, what's up? Can you define? I would love to know your definition of a man or a woman. Can you define that? Is it related to genetics? I would love. So yeah, no, and it's probably not a mean question, but I'm gonna put out a little bit of video about what it is to be a woman. So you wait for that. But I would love to know your definition of what a man is and what a woman is. You know, it's a tough question to answer, especially because there's so many parents right now, single parents that are acting as the father role and the mother role. So, you know, it'd be really easy to offend a lot of people saying this is what a man is, when the woman is doing all of those things too, just as responsibly and just as selflessly as that man. So it's not as obvious as what is a man, what is a woman. The bottom line is it's easier to look at feminine energy and a masculine energy. You know, it's a lot of families have both a feminine energy and a masculine energy that runs that family, and you know that's great. But a lot of people don't. There's a lot of single moms and a lot of single dads. You know, that's the bottom line.
there's a question.
Yes, question, please.
Mhm.
Were you open about your love of beautiful things before you and Andrew got married? Um, yes, I say yes, but in all honesty, um, I mean, there's no way I could have ever said, "Hey, by the way, 25 years from now, I'm gonna want to live as a girl a lot more." I couldn't say that back then. Back then, all I knew was, "Hey, look, I have an awareness that I have this strength. I have a strength on this side of the gender wheel, and just letting you know that I get those things and they're important to me, and I really value those things." So I was as honest as I could be at the time. I was honest with who I knew I was at the time. But this is just one aha moment after another. That's how we all get here. I'm trying to have a mature discussion, but some chatters are disgusting. Yeah, listen, if they're just disgusting and they're disrespectful, then give them the boot. I mean, we're giving them information to try to support what we have to say. We're doing it in a respectful way. If they don't get it, I'm sorry, you're with the wrong group. There's a less intelligent group somewhere out there waiting for you.
So characteristics determine male or female?
Characteristics determine male or female? Why are we talking about male or female? What I'm talking about is a masculine or a feminine societal role. That's what I'm talking about. It's a gender role. So I get that I am living outside of the your expected gender role for me. Do I got permission to live outside of what your expectations for me were? No. I should be able to wake up and say, this is how I feel. This is where I feel strong. This is where I feel powerful, and then go be that person. I shouldn't need anybody. You have the right to dress yourself every morning. It's weird that I don't have the right to dress myself. That's crazy. You know, we all do. So now that you didn't have to give up anything for me to live like me, you didn't have to give up anything. You didn't have to give up kids in sports. You didn't have to give up. All you have to do is just live your life, and I live my life, and it's a non-moral event, right? So now what? Now how do you feel about it? Now are you comfortable with me showing up to work in a dress? Is that okay now? Uh, I mean, I really I want some feedback because I want people to understand. I want people uh, to feel comfortable knowing what they're getting. That's all.
So what is the definition of a man?
Yeah. So, Mama Banana, yeah. What is the definition of a man? I'd like to know that. I mean, I've lived for
No,
50
but-
years as a man.
No, she's asking
She's asking the other person.
for someone.
Yeah. Guys, that's a hard question for me to answer. As a man, for 50 years, I've worn a suit and tie. Not for 50 years, I'm only 50 years old, but for the last 20 years anyway, I've worn a suit and tie every single day to work. You know, what is a man? That's such a tough question because not all men, number one, are created equally. They all have different strengths. And a lot of them have a lot of more strengths than I do. A lot of them have a lot fewer manly strengths than I do. It's not about what is a man. It's about what does a good parent look like? What does a good employee look like? What does a good spouse look like? What does a good sibling look like? That's more of the questions that we need to be answering. It's not about male or female. Their genetics are so messed up right now, and you'll see in just a second, you know, all of the different, you know, genetic codes.
What are your and your family's big picture goals with the message and platform? Is it reality TV?
Hey, reality TV, that would be fun, right? That'd be super fun. You know what? It's just right now. It's just about education, and there may come a time, and maybe sooner than later, that we don't have the time to do this. But while I had the time to get on and to transition back and forth and to answer these questions in a respectful way, that's what we wanted to do because it's one way to expose you to somebody that's not trying to cram something down your throat. But you got to understand why they're trying to cram it down your throat. They're trying to cram it down your throat because throughout time, everybody's had to fight for themselves. You know, the blacks had to fight for themselves. It wasn't a bunch of white people going, no, there's an injustice. We got to, no, they stood up and fought for themselves. The women stood up and fought for themselves. The gays stood up and fought for themselves. And they got to ask for everything in order to get an inch. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. So you got to understand where they're coming from. Wow, they didn't want us to use the bathroom. We better ask for everything and hope we get something. And my opinion is different. No, we don't need to ask for everything. We don't need to ask for anything. We already have the rights and the protections, the privileges that we need. What we don't have is insurance. What we don't have is the ability to go do some legal paperwork that makes our lives so much easier. Those are what we need right there. You don't have to give up anything, and we don't have to vote on anything. Now, what are we going to do with all that time that we're not fighting with one another about bathrooms and sports? Now what? Well, gosh, we can actually focus on the real atrocities that are just going on, you know, while you and I are fighting about things, while you and I are majoring in the minor and all of this terrible stuff is happening around us, we can deal with some of that, let less of that, you know, come through the filter. Now, I got a sign back there, right? You got the men, you got the women, you got the unisex. I know everybody would love to see. Oh, my computer's a little bit froze. Give it 1 sec.
Someone said, don't do reality TV. They have someone in their family in it, and it's total drama.
Oh, really?
on one of the housewives.
Oh, that's funny. So look, usually the XY person is going to go in the males. Usually the XX the females. But what happens when it's that syndrome? Or that one? This is XX, but they're actually male. Or how about the XY that's actually female? Or that one, 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 or this one. Okay, there's the genetic combinations are not as easy as we thought. It's just not as easy. You think, well, no, genetics are pretty easy. You're genetically this, and so that's that. No, then explain the slide behind me. It's not that easy. So if you've got all these other chromosomes, you're telling me the body doesn't have the ability to turn on switches that some people don't have. No, ask Rain Man. The body has the ability to turn on a lot of switches that others don't have. What you have to do is you have to wake up in the morning and say, what does my day look like? What do I need to address the day that I need? What do I need to wear to address this day that honors myself and honors everybody that I come in contact with? So, you know, that's the bottom line. You get to pick who you are. I get to pick who I am. You get to pick your clothes. I get to pick my clothes. I don't need to sign off on you. You don't need to sign off on me. It's really that easy. It's really that easy. You know, we had just a couple of weeks ago, we had somebody that was on a couple weeks ago. That was just a couple of lives ago, who were talking about the bathrooms, and he told me, if I walked out of the bathroom with his daughter, if I went into if I went into the bathroom where his daughter was, that I would come out in a body bag. That I'd come out in a body bag. Right now, first of all, I get that. As a parent, as a protective parent, I get that, because there's little I wouldn't do to protect my family, number one. But we need to clarify what you're saying right now. Are you saying that if I do something inappropriate with your daughter, I would be in a body bag? Is that what you're saying? Because yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Or are you saying that if I'm in there using the bathroom and your daughter walks in and we just both walk out at the same time, that you're gonna put me in a body bag? Is that what you're saying? Because that's you're probably gonna want to bring a friend. You're gonna want to have a backup plan in that. But think that through for a second before you just say it. And why are the bathrooms such a big deal anyway? What exactly do you think is gonna happen in the bathroom? Do transgender people, are they like inherently deviant? Is that what you're thinking? Because if you go look at all the records of what's going on, it's not from trans people. And why would it be in the bathroom? Remember, that's not a sexual thing. Transgender is not a sexual thing. I mean, gosh, if what you're saying, it contradicts itself, wouldn't you be more concerned about the gays? Wait, I don't, no, I've got a daughter in there. I don't want any gays in there with my young daughter. Oh no, I've got a young child, a young boy. I don't want any gay, right? That would make more sense. And that doesn't make sense. So if that doesn't make sense, how does it make sense to worry about me? Right? The only thing that happens in bathrooms is bathroom business. I mean, what do you think is going to happen if a trans person goes in there with your child? Do you think your child's going to come out with like a really bad, eyeliner job or something? I mean, that's probably the worst that could happen is they come out with really like terrible eyeshadow. I don't even know. But the bottom line is, we got to rethink these things through because your children and your grandchildren are going to have to live in the world that we give them. And we can only give them the world based on the information that we have. And there's not great information out there, and not everyone knows what they're fighting for. They just go, what, it's pro-trans? I'm in. No, you're not in if it costs us all of these other things, and don't think that that's not part of the plan. So we need to not be distracted and just live our lives. That's the bottom line. Okay, let's get to some makeup because no, I don't think anybody cares about any of this stuff. Welcome, everyone. There are a lot of bad people out there that will act trans to use different bathrooms. No, that's not true at all. They could already do that. I've been going in girls' bathrooms for 25 years. So, that's not true. Deviant people are deviant people. And that doesn't make sense. In fact, with trans people going in there, it's going to be even safer. It's going to be even safer for your child because there's probably somebody in there that's capable of really, really protecting them if some creeper was in there. That's the bottom line. I don't know that I buy that it opens the door. There's creepy people everywhere you go. They just find a different way to creep. So to keep an entire community from using a bathroom that's safe for them because somewhere there's a creepy person that's about to do something, that doesn't seem socially responsible. We've got to use the bathroom, even though there's creepy people out there doing something. Oh wait, you know what? I only use the female bathroom when I'm dressed. Let's do that. Let's do that right now. Okay, so they're like, wait a minute, you go in the bathroom like that? I would be upset too. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that as well. So let's just put on some makeup. Ooh, let's put on some makeup and then we'll change our clothes. How about that? Or should we change our clothes and then put on the makeup so I don't have to do this? That's probably a better idea actually. So I'm gonna put on. I've got. You probably can't see it over here, but I got a cute blouse and a really really cute skirt. I just got really flowered.
Do you have a preferred wig brand?
I don't have a preferred wig brand. I have two.
Close first, they said.
Close first, yes. Close first. So I don't really have a preferred wig brand. I have two human hair wigs, and they're my favorite wigs because they just feel right. They wear better. They style. I can have different styles. The wigs that are not human hair, they're usually styled and pressed in a way that it maintains them, which is great. That's why it's so great to have a wig like that. You just kind of shake it out, brush it out, and boom, it's perfectly styled every time. Where, like you just saw, this wig that I'm about to put on is a straight wig. You've never seen me in this wig straight because we usually curl it and whatever else. So, that's where that is. So I'm going to wear some really cute stuff. Hey, do you know if YouTube ever started? Like, is it a thing yet?
I will check.
I don't even know. We should stop doing that if. Okay, so let me just show you what I'm going to wear here. So I'm going to wear this. It's like a skirt thing. I mean, a blouse, a white blouse. And this super, super cute. I don't know if you can see it there. But it's a super cute thing.
Aww.
How fun is that? Yeah, that's fun. That makes me happy.
All right, I'm going to jump on for a second and answer some questions. Someone asked, are we still married? Yes, we are still married. Do you know where's the shirt from, babe?
I got this at Dillard's.
She got it at Dillard's.
Simply
Simply styled.
Oh, no, I didn't. I think this was JCPenney, actually.
Oh, JCPenney. Have the hormones changed your body, and does it make it hard when wearing men's clothing? I don't think it's changed enough for the men's clothing. It just, she's able to be more enhanced as a woman because she does bind when she's Kevin or when he's Kevin. And so I don't think so. Her skin has changed a lot. It's really nice and soft, and I think her muscle mass has gone down a lot. Somebody said their sister is one of the JCPenney designers. That's fun. We love her. But yeah, I don't think it has changed enough for the men's clothing. So,
Hey, wait, babe. Let me just make.
thank you.
Let me make.
And now
Let me make one
back?
comment before I
Yeah,
change my clothes.
Of course.
Hey, let me just. I just want to make one comment before I change my clothes. You know, before you, one of the hardest parts for me, being out in public dressed, is that so many of the crappy comments and the weird stuff that goes on, I can whoop their asses, and I've got to really just suck it up and not even respond to it. But it's really weird to be out and about, just living your life, happy, doing your thing, and to have somebody that's weaker, be putting you down and doing weird things. So just know this. I was just reading the statistics from the census from all the way back in 2000, and the majority of people that identified as transgender did not live full time. They have full time jobs. They're men, and you got to know that the person that you plan on picking on
Rachel.
most likely can whoop your ass. So keep that in mind as you yell these comments out, because I can see me not being in a good place one time and just going and responding in a way that's very boy like, and it's going to be a wake up call for sure.
Alrighty.
Good chat.
Okay, somebody asked if it's difficult for the family going from Kevin to Allyssa, like changing the pronouns or names. It's hard only because I'm with Kevin part of the day and Allyssa part of the day. So sometimes I, in the past, have called him, her, he, she. So I've been doing more of the they, them, so I don't mess up, especially in front of people who aren't familiar with Allyssa, family, that kind of stuff. So yeah. Oh, thank you for the flowers. Okay. Oh, hold on. Her wigs are beautiful. Her mom is 81 and has worn a wig since 1958.
Wow.
She has never had a human hair wig. Wow. They probably made them so much better than when I was straightening Alyssa's wig. It's crazy how they're put together. And I praise people who put them together because I don't know how they do that. But thank you so much. Since your last video has an array of pronouns, it's a little hard to understand. Oh, I don't know your understanding. So my understanding of trans, maybe reword that question to me. She has been saving and now has enough to buy a real one. Could you tell me what brand yours is?
Her imports out of Las Vegas.
Her imports out of Las Vegas is where Allyssa got her real wigs, and they've been amazing. They've been colored, they've been styled, washed, cut, all the things. I sometimes I have to straighten them first and then curl them, and they have been kept up really well. So, and now we have the new Olaplex products, so we can keep them even better. All right. Is it fun for you to support Allyssa with learning traditionally girly stuff? What does that mean?
Is it fun to support Allyssa?
Of course, it's fun to support Allyssa, mostly because I learn a lot from her with makeup tips and stuff like that, because she just has had to learn herself. Where Alyssa's getting dressed, by the way, she'll be back. Where was I going?
Is it fun to?
So I was able to get a lot of tips from her, and she, in the beginning, this is kind of a fun story, she made stencils for my eyebrows, because, you know, back in the 80s we plucked a little too much, and so she made me a stencil, and I just put it on my eyebrow and colored in and pulled it off, and I was done in like a few minutes. So those kind of things, all these little hacks that she has are really good. I like this question. What's your favorite thing about Allyssa? My favorite part is, for me right now, is learning from her, because I'm hearing different experiences that she has had and different things that she has gone through because of, you know, as a child, or, and, you know, teenagers, those kind of things. So I'm able to hear different stories, but I also, I don't want to get emotional, but I'm kind of like a proud spouse, you know, because of how how amazing she's been from the beginning of TikTok, because it's been a long time for her, a long time waiting. Okay, I'm gonna go. This is coming back. Love you.
Okay. Look how cute this skirt is. How fun is that? All right. Let's do some makeup. Yay. She says she didn't mean to make you cry.
No, I love
What
it.
a sweet thing though, right? You know what? I want to change this slideshow. Now I want to change that to something more fun to talk about. And we'll just get right into makeup. Ooh, look at this slideshow I prepared. Is Christianity bad for the LGBT community? We may get to that tonight. We may not. I can see that being a little hot.
Ooh, will you ever do a pixie style? We don't have one. You don't have one of those.
A pixie style?
Mm-mm.
Is the pink, maybe the pink wig
The
can
pink
be,
one, it could be cut.
could be styled that way or cut that way? No.
It could be cut.
We should probably get one that way. But I love where your head's at. More wigs is probably what I need. And I think that's what you're saying right now. And thank you for saying that. Okay. Let's do some makeup really quick. I am going to use this. So Andrea let me use her mirror. She just got this mirror. It's cordless, totally cordless. It's regular on one side and it's 10 times on one side. It's got a power button right here. And you can also hold the power. Oh, it's got different. And you can also dim it down to what you want it to do just by holding it.
Somebody's mama banana said that's a can of worms, Allyssa. About the stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a can of worms, right? It really is. But the reason that it's important is because so many people ask me, wow, you know, all the hate that comes in, the disgusting comments are tied to a scripture and something about God and going to hell. Like, what's going on with all the scriptures and the hate? And so it's a fair question from non-Christians. Is Christianity bad for the LGBTQ community? And my answer to that is no, it's not bad. It's some Christians that are bad for the community. And those Christians are bad for every community. But we can get into that another time. I don't want to open up that right now. So, and they're asking where you got this mirror. She got this on Amazon, really. Do you remember like a brand or anything? There's.
You know what? I got it right here, peeps.
Oh, she's already prepared for that. Anyway, I'm gonna, in just a minute, when she gets that, she'll come back and she'll talk to you. While I just hurry and get ready. It's going to take me a minute. Oops, sorry about that. The lighting may be a little bit weird. I turned the lighting down for a second. I don't know if it's good or not. But the foundation that I'm going to use it's CoverGirl. It's CoverGirl Clean. Let me just shake it to the whole bottle so you can see it. It's CoverGirl Clean right here. Hey, did we ever find out if YouTube is working?
Yeah.
Because I'll quit doing that if it isn't. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use right here. So
You went wrong.
it's still not working. I'm the worst. So I use this little art palette to pour my foundation in, and then I dip my sponge into it. I was dressed, getting ready this morning. Had my nails on and foundation, and I was just about to get going. Then I got a text from Addie to say she didn't feel well at school, and could I go check her out? And Andrew wasn't available, so I had to take off all my nails, and then I actually left the foundation on and went and got her, which she was very, very cool about. In fact, she did say later, she said, "Hey, you could have left the nails on. I would have been okay with that." And that's really, really cool when your, teenage daughter says, "Hey, you can come to my school as my dad wearing nails." That's love and that's support, and I appreciate who she is. I appreciate all my kids and the support and the love they give.
Okay, so it is.
Hetero men weirded out around you? No, they don't care either way. Hetero men are they're simply not challenged usually. So since they're not challenged, and even my male friends, when I told them, they're like, "Oh, okay, that's weird, but it's not really challenging. So you do you." So not really.
I put the link to the
You can
mirror on
mess it
our
right here.
on our Discord. So
Yeah.
if you want to get it,
What am I doing? I showed you the foundation, but the reality is I had already put foundation on before this so that I wouldn't have to do this process, and I let it dry. So now I have a whole cup of foundation that I will waste. So that being the
Alrighty.
case, let's go right into some brows. I want to do the brows first, just
don't
because
finish your nails and not show them. They said.
Oh.
A lot of people are asking how our son has handled it. Like it keeps coming up multiple times.
He handles it in his own way. He's very respectful. He and I talk a lot. We talk when I'm dressed a lot. I'll be in here working, and he'll just come in and sit down on the couch, and we'll spend hours just talking about all the amazing things that's happening in his life. It's our conversations don't change when I'm dressed and when I'm not dressed. He's been very, very supportive, and I really appreciate and love him so much.
All right, here's
But
the
he's
foundation.
also 19 with a brand new motorcycle and girlfriends and jobs and the whole deal, and he's very busy. And
Cover girl clean. Sorry, I don't want to cover this cutest picture ever. I took it, by the way. Love your nails. Very spring.
thank you. So the brow powder that I'm going to use is Anastasia.
These aren't my natural lashes. I use. Do you remember?
You use, are they the Kala lashes?
Nope. I don't use the calla lashes.
Oh, you use the
The natural 424 from. Do you remember which? I will go look. But my eyes are really
yeah. Come over this way,
wide,
babe, because they're
and so I have to get the wider ones. Otherwise, I have to cut the 2.5 and add to the corners. It's really annoying. So just get the 421s, and I'll go grab them while you finish your makeup.
Yeah. So what I typically do is I take the brow powder and I draw the brow on the shape that I want it, and then I go back afterwards and I use a brown mascara and I put the brown mascara on my lashes, and that makes it so you can see right now you can't even see my brows. You can't see my lashes because they're so light, they're blonde, they're almost albino. So by doing that, it makes it really, really pop out. Another good tip, and I've already got product on this brush, but another tip is when you're plucking, if you really want to see what shape your brow is in so you can clean it up around the edges, well then just use the mascara first by itself, And then all of the little hairs around that area will have mascara, and you just pluck out all the dark ones all the way around it until you have exactly the shape that you want. So if you'll just put a little mascara on your brows, like you'll see me do in just a minute, and then it will just clearly show you what around that area needs to be plucked. What was your biggest shocker about your transition? You know what? I've been dressing for so long, there wasn't really a shocker. Let me think about that for a second. A shocker. Shocker. I mean, there's been a lot of aha moments. Shocker. What has surprised me? I'm not gonna be able to answer the questions for 1 second. Now, I'm just gonna draw this on, and I typically really enjoy doing my brows because it gives me a minute to really. Sometimes I like an arch. Sometimes sometimes like a long, sleek. So I like to take that moment to do that. Now, this will be the time where it really messes up because I'm online with 6 of you. I should have waited to do this until Andrea got here, but I'm just going to kind of go through my brows and take a lot of that product off and then go underneath the brow to put in the bottom of it. And typically I would be closer to the mirror. I'm really far away from the mirror so that you could see, because of this, I didn't get it. I can tell already that I didn't get it very as much on the lash line as I wanted to. So I would be using a little better lighting and a much different mirror angle to do this normally. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. The good news is everything is fixable. Everything's fixable.
Okay, so I just went in.
Can they see you, love?
Okay, so foundation for age 35. I think the clean one would be good because it's very natural and it's a really good coverage. The clean, when you smell it, it kind of reminds me of the Noxzema back in the old days. You might not know because you're 35, but I think it would look really good. And you can go to Ulta and get color swatched for it. These are the lashes I use. These are Ardell Naked Lashes. So they are number 421. So if you have, like, Allyssa couldn't use, she could use these, but she would have to cut them. These are wider this way for the bigger eyes, so you can get the same kind of these, just get a 424. You should go ahead and get close to the mirror. You can't really see anyway.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for telling. You
Oh,
can't
I
really see.
remember
Hey,
Noxzema.
maybe we should turn these lights up a little bit. I mean, it's hard for them to see and hard for me to see. That seems like a
Oh,
kind of a
thanks,
losing
Natalie
combination for all of
girl.
us.
It's 2:30 a.m. in the UK.
Oh my gosh.
Go to bed, girl. We
Go
love
to
you. Go
bed.
watch
Thank
on
you.
YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, you won't be able to because I screw that up. I do that every single week. So
Wait.
I wish you could watch it on YouTube, but watch it on Wednesday when we come back on.
It looks like we're up on YouTube, you guys. So if you have to go log into YouTube. It's the same username and all that stuff. So there's that. All right. Ooh. Are you Christian? Yes, we are. Do we spend time in queer spaces like bars, Pride, etc.? Yeah, we do, because not a lot of time, but when we do, we usually spend time in those places only because of how accepted we are there. So Allyssa, this is a good question. What do you love about yourself that other people take for granted?
I love, one of the best parts of dressing up for me is literally getting to define how I look, getting to draw my brows, getting to make my eyes look big or look, squinty or look glamorous or whatever. I love getting to decide how I'm going to take the day. If I want big, bright, bold lips, or I just want subtle lips or pouty lips. I love the flexibility in the girl world of having to choose who you're going to be. You literally have to choose, and at some point the makeup doesn't go on exactly the way you want, kind of like these brows right now for me. But it doesn't matter. At some point, you
looks
got to
so
just
good.
decide to just go win the day anyway. But I love the flexibility of that. That really is an important part of the process for me. That's a great question. Thank you.
Like a chameleon. Yes.
Like a
I
chameleon.
love that. I forgot the question that I was going to ask you before. Let's see. Ready?
So I've got this brow powder in the brow, right there. Oh, look how bad. Look, let's see. This one here is kind of arched higher. So I'm gonna take this arch a little higher. I'm gonna go underneath it, and I'm gonna draw through it just a little bit. I'm gonna draw through it. I'm gonna try to raise the arch up.
Would you ever get
Just a little bit.
microblading done?
I'm not sure. That I've never considered that, but it would be tough to be Kevin with really with the real girl brow that I would like to have. So it's not a good option for me while I'm going back and forth.
Does Kevin ever feel the way as a man, free choice? I don't know what that means.
Free choice.
I don't know what that means, but what is microblading? It's like tattooing for your eyebrows. They can do strokes or they can do powder overlay, which kind of helps fill in the areas, or you can do straight color blocked. And microblading is not, you can get it removed. I used to work at a med spa and we would remove the, old tattoos from the 80s and 90s. So
Just get a napkin.
oh, they love your white blouse.
Thank you.
Is
See,
it on the floor?
so you can see, no, that's good. So you can see that I put just a little bit of an arch in that brow just by going underneath it and through the brow, just a little bit past the top of the brow, and then bringing that, right back through is what. Yeah. Could I have that? I'm just gonna grab a paper towel really quick to wipe this product off.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was trying to clean up the soda. Okay. It's interesting how you have to also use some trans man techniques when you want to present male. It's true. Are hormones a part of your transition journey? Yes, she's been on hormones for a little over 7 years. And would Allyssa ever consider being Allyssa full-time? I think we're kind of in the process of figuring that out right now because we didn't know that would, we knew it was an option, but we didn't think pulling it off was, going to be easy.
Well, in the bottom line, I've worked pretty hard to get Kevin where Kevin is. And there's just so many great things about Kevin, period. And just like I'm not willing to.
I'm the wife, yeah.
I'm not willing to sacrifice the Allyssa side of me. I'm not willing to sacrifice the Kevin side of me either. There's too much there. People respond to Kevin different, and if I'm going to give this message, I got to give this message sometimes as Kevin. I got to give this message sometimes as Allyssa, and just show people, what that's all about. So I don't really anticipate living full time and having all the surgeries and stuff because Kevin's worth protecting to me.
What drew you to the name Allyssa? It's a beautiful name.
During